Linda, very good evening to you. Let's start off with those comments made by your boss. First of all, what did he mean by that? Because he seems to at least get some support from Solidarity.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Yes, our CEO was correct when he passed our statement, because I think for us as a selection panel, as a country, we've done well to make sure that we eliminate the transformation tag and also the quota tag. And I think for us, a World Cup that is coming up in the next few weeks is part and parcel of our plans within a year. The Cricket Board has given us the target, which is we get charged within a year, and then World Cup fall part of that of this 12 months. So for us, it's not an issue that we're going to the World Cup now. We're not going to implement transformation, or we will implement transformation. It is a normal standard for us. When you look at the Sri Lankan series that just completed, I mean, in the last T20 match, we played 7 players of color, of which in that 7 were 4 black Africans, and there was not an issue. In Australia as well, we played 7 white players and 4 players of color, of which 2 were black Africans. I think as a panel, as a country, as well as the fraternity, a lot of strides have been made in terms of making sure that our players are picked based on their potential, and we're picking the best players. Transformation is here to stay within our country. I think that's a fact. But I think for us to also dwell on the issue of transformation primarily for the World Cup, I think it's something as we as a collective need to try by all means to eliminate.
All right, as you rightly stated, Cricket South Africa has done very well in terms of accelerating transformation in the national team. We've also seen it in domestic cricket, where quite a number of young stars coming through the pipeline. Is this an illustration of some of the work that has been done? Because, I mean, we are also expecting at least half of the team, I'm sure hopefully you'll confirm this, half of the team to be made up of players of color when you announce that World Cup team on the 18th of April.
Absolutely, because when you look at it, we've given a lot of opportunities. I think when we started off 16 months ago, we had a Vision 2019 of which opportunity were given based on the potential and based on the performance of the players when they perform in the franchise level. I think when you look at the number of players that we have to choose from, I think we've got a caliber of Hashim Amla, we've got a caliber of JP Dumini, Kagiso Rabada. All these players can represent any team anywhere in the world. So for us, I think we have done well thus far. Hence, I'm saying when you compare to 2015, the number of players that we have to now, I think we have achieved a lot of players that we have given the opportunity. So for me I think what happened in 2015 compared to 2019 is going to be a different ball game. And I think for us, we can't be bringing that ghost of 2019 from ghost of 2015 into 2019 World Cup, because I think our players need our support, and our players, I think they're going to be in a position whereby they just have to execute their skills so that they can, for us to be there and support them so that they can bring that World Cup. So I think I'm very confident when we announced that the 15-man squad on the 18th is going to be the best players that we as a panel, we believe that they're going to bring the cup back home.
All right, one of the names you just mentioned, Hashim Amla, I mean, he's been a name on many people's lips regarding whether he will be selected or not for the World Cup. We do know that he played no part during the Sri Lanka series due to family commitments. He's also been a man who's been struggling a bit with the bat in limited overs cricket. Way easy at the moment, because there's been talk that he will be playing a few games for the Cape Cobras instead of going ahead with his initial commitments, playing a few games in English County.
I think when you look at a player like Hashim Amla, it's a matter of form. Yes, you can look at in so many areas that you can identify when you look at player and where he was and where he is at the moment. I think for us, we've got an opportunity we've got about 4 or 5 games before the announcement of the squad. I think we've been open in terms of where we are in the final selection. I think there are 3 players that we're looking at the moment. We've got Hashim, we've got Reza Hendricks, and we've got Makram. So I think when the composition of the team, we are sitting at 99.9, which is we need to make that final decision. Hashim Amla is a player that has done very well for us in so many years. And I think for us is when you're looking at him in the Pakistan series, I mean, he averaged 49, close to 50. Yes, he wasn't featured in the Sri Lankan series due to family commitment. But for us, is we still believe he's a good cricketer, and so as the other players like Reza and Makram.
But Linda, let me just quickly come in there because we are running out of time.
These players fit in.
Let me quickly come in there. Is he under pressure to make that 15-man squad, given that Aiden Markram is in the form of his life? Reza Hendricks, yes, he hasn't performed as expected perhaps, but is Hashim Amla guaranteed a spot in the 15-man squad?
No one is guaranteed out of those 3 players, and it's up to us to make sure that when we make that final decision, we're going to pick 2 out of those 3 players. So I think it's going to boil down to the 18, whatever the decision that we make.
All right, 99% there. Well, let's hope that you will find out who those players are when the 18th of April arrives. Thank you so much for your time, Linda Zondi. That was the convener of selectors for the Proteas, Linda Zondi, joining us from our Durban studios.